Hello there, you guys. This is going to be our weekly love energy reading for the week of August 28th through September the 3rd, 2017. So this will be for all soul connections, twin flame soulmate energies. Okay, any of those connections that you resonate with. So I'm going to tune into the energy for this week. Okay, so I want to stop shuffling. So I'm going to split the deck this way. Okay. So we're going to start with, let's see if I'm able to, because I'm going to do it differently. And I'm just hoping that the little cards will help me, but let's see. Okay, maybe I can put the other cards in frame, so let's see. Not quite, huh? Any cards that you can't see, you guys, I'm going to put them in frame, so probably should have tested this out so you can see the cards better, but I'm just going to make it work. How are we going to make it work? Okay, one more card. I'm using a different deck here. I'm going to use my True Love reading cards. That's interesting, the card that came out. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and get into the reading. So this area here represents your energy. The second half represents the person whom you are dealing with, okay, thinking about, inquiring about, or it could be anyone the spirit leads you to think about, or because sometimes what happens is like you might think about somebody else, and then what ends up happening is spirit is like picking up energy of someone totally different. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but sometimes it works that way. So can't guarantee that the person you're thinking about is who's gonna energy is gonna be picked up here, or you're gonna resonate with. Okay, so I'm gonna start with you. Okay, so how are you viewing? I don't call them masculines, feminines. I typically don't like to do that, so I'm just gonna call it the other person, the other partner. You have the Nine of Pentacles. So how you're viewing them is kind of like they're doing their own thing. They're well off. They're not thinking about you, or they're not thinking about me. He or she is doing good for themselves. They're happy. They're enjoying life. They're traveling, you know. They're, you know, busy. They're dealing with their career, or, you know, they're doing their own thing. They're enjoying their summer. I feel like this is summer energy. It's Pentacles. It's sunny. It's got all of these flowers and plants, and the butterflies are flying above her head. So I feel like you see them as like they've changed, or, you know, their life has changed. And I feel like you think for the better. You perceive that their life has changed for the better, and not that it hasn't. I feel like you're kind of looking at it in a sugar-coated way or something, or you're looking at it much more deeper in a way that I feel like you're beating yourself up. You're kind of comparing yourself to this person. And it's almost like a lot of you perceive that this person has moved on or moved away from you. Energetically, mentally, emotionally, they're not thinking about you. In some cases that could be true, but I feel like I said, this energy is like way more in their feelings and over analyzing the situation. So that's how you're seeing them this week. So what is it that you're providing to the connection? What are you bringing to the connection? You have the Ten of Wands. So you're actually you're trying to take on too much than what you're supposed to. I feel like you're doing way too much. And Spirit wants you to relax and do what only feels right to you and what feels good to you, even if it's separate from this connection. So even if it's totally irrelevant to the connection and what it's about and where it's headed, it's like Spirit's just telling you to not take on so much. Don't carry this big weight, this big load, because you're putting a lot of stress into the connection by doing that. I feel the energy that you're contributing is not a good energy. It's like, it's very stressful, it's very tiring. You could be trying too hard to push things to move a certain way, and it's like, it's not your job to carry that weight anymore. Because I feel like things have shifted on one end, because it's like the more codependent partner, the more you know, the one that was pushing for things to move a certain way, versus the one that was kind of like the narcissist. You know, I'm saying that in the nicest way I can possibly. The person that was kind of like, no, whatever, I don't care, you know, yeah, I'm flattered by all of this and I'm not giving you the time of day, or whatever the case may be. That person is now in a different position, and so are you. Okay, I feel like it's hard for you to kind of take the back seat now and let the other person drive, but I feel like that's where things are headed. As far as the present energy, where they are presently, they have the World. Okay, so where they're at presently with the connection is, I feel like this person, I get this all the time, you guys, and I don't like to sugarcoat things. I don't like to put Disney fairy tales or Disney princess stories in your head, but I'm just getting, you know, some of you might be flattered by this and some of you may not be flattered by this. Just depends. But I'm getting with the World card is that they're conjuring up something, they're working on something behind the scenes, and it's kind of like they're doing it with your guides, and your angels have been prepping you for something as well, but in relations to this person. And I feel like they've been working on something behind the scenes, the partner has, and they've also been watching you in some way, like they have some type of access to you. The World card to me is like the World Wide Web. Okay, so it could definitely be that they're being guided to watch you, because they're supposed to be working on something. I feel some sort of offer. They're working on some sort of offer towards you, or to bring you something, or to reach out to you for some of you. Like I said, I feel like there's definitely a focus on you, like someone's watching. So I feel like that's what's going on with them presently. But as far as like your hopes with this whole situation this month, or this week, sorry, you have the Six of Pentacles. So I feel like what your hopes is that this person wants what you want, but not only that, that they want to equally put some efforts towards the connection. And it's not just one-sided, it's not just you. And this feels like deja vu as I'm reading this, but I feel like that's, you both want to give an equal amount of effort here. Something tangible, something practical, something more balanced. Like you want to put in towards the connection where you guys can actually build something more solid and more grounded in something long-standing, rather than just wobbly, you know, just something that does not stand on a firm foundation. It's just all over the place. It doesn't make sense. You know, one moment it works and then the next minute it's not working. So I feel like you want something more stable and you want this person to do the same, you know, to add to that, or to desire to build with you, is your hope. Okay, so what is their past energy? What is the person, the connections? They have the King of Wands. So, it's the only suit that has come out so far. So we have the King of Wands. So that could be this person you're dealing with. It's a fire sign. Could be moon fire or Venus fire sign, because that represents how they love with Venus, and the moon is their emotions. So it could be a fire sign, or they could be a sun fire, or it could just represent a period that this person in the past, I feel like, has made some sort of transformation. It's like a transition, or it's like alchemy. Like they took some, not transition, it's like they transmuted an energy. Whereas I feel like this person was more laid back, not into taking any moves, taking any action, taking any responsibility, you know, not stepping out in any way. But I feel like it's shifted in the past. I feel like they have taken taking back their power. So they could be dealing with situations in their own life where they've kind of been a passive person and not their own person, their own individual. And I feel like that's shifted. Like they're starting to step out and be their own person, their authentic self. And that may be why they're starting to take charge of the situation, or feel more responsible to, or desire to, I feel. The doubts here, your doubts that you have, is the Nine of Cups. So you're doubting that you'll be able to really, because they call this the wish fulfillment card, but I feel like she's looking for her wish, but she's looking for the emotional fulfillment part of it. Not so much just the physical for it to manifest where she can experience it, but I feel like the emotions behind it. There's this doubt that you're ever going to feel happy or content. Whether it's in the connection or outside of it, you just kind of doubt that you could ever really feel good or happy or content, or that your wishes are finally unfolding or manifesting. Because for some reason I feel like some of you may be aware that something has changed in the connection. Could be exciting, but at the same time I feel like you don't want to get your hopes up for some reason, because it's like this energy is like just dwelling within you that something is changing for the better, or something is happening underneath the surface, but you don't want to put too much excitement into it. I feel just based upon your doubts that you feel like it's not going to pan out the way you want it to. So what are the issues and blockages for you? You have the Six of Swords. So what's the issue for you in the blockage? There's this angel here that's guiding the person in the boat. If you see the white figure, she's guiding this person. They're in hermit mode, and I feel like Spirit's trying to get them to open up and to follow their guidance, because it's like you've been in this situation for so long. You've put yourself in this shell or this box, and Spirit's been guiding you all along, but I feel like you're not aware. Okay, you're not aware that Spirit's trying to take you somewhere, and it may even be that you're blocking out the messages that tell you that maybe it's time to move away from this connection, or it's time for you to move in some different direction. It could be, you know, mentally. It could be a physical move that you've been guided to take, or something totally outside of the connection that you're being guided to move towards or away from. But it has some relations to the connection, obviously, because it wouldn't come up. But I feel like you might be closing off your attention to it because you're so like in this bubble, in this shell, just hiding away from everything and everyone. And in reality, what's happening, I feel like, is you're running from yourself, and Spirit's trying to help you. They're trying to guide you into the right direction, and they would never want to steer you wrong. So I feel like that's the issue and what's blocking you currently this week. So excuse me. So what are your current feelings and expectations of your partner or your connection? You have the Ten of Cups. So your expectations is that this person is just the one that's going to make you happy. And I feel like that could come off very codependent. That you expect this person to fulfill all your desires and all your wishes in some area, or at least emotionally, that they'll be able to fulfill you. And it's not that you feel like they fill every cup. Obviously not. I feel like you believe that this person is one cup missing because you have the Nine of Cups here. So I feel like you perceive that this person is one cup missing. Like, I got this and I have that in my life, but this person is that one thing that's missing. And when they come in, they'll fulfill that cup, and they'll make me really happy. They'll make me feel really good. They'll make me feel very content, like, fairy tale, happy ending come true type of thing. And that's okay to some extent. On another level, I feel like this can be codependent if you feel like this person has to fulfill you, emotionally. And if they don't meet those expectations, you'll feel like you just can't be happy without this person. So it's like you can be happy with or without this person. I feel like that's the healthy aspect. But without, if you feel like you cannot be fulfilled emotionally, that's the codependent aspect. And I feel like Spirit does not want that for you, which is why they want you to take the other load, because you have the 10, also the 10 of Wands right above the 10 of Cups. So carrying on too much. Okay. So what are your intentions? You have the King of Swords. So your intentions, I feel like with this person, you could be an air sign person, or you could be an air sign, Moon or Venus, or you might have your Mercury be in a air sign, okay, because that represents our communication, the way that we communicate. So if not, it doesn't matter. I feel like what Spirit is saying, like, with this, our intentions are direct communication, authentic communication, straightforward, and coming forth with the utmost respect for the other person, because I feel like there might be slightly a grudge that's there. You might even be watching this person through the internet, because it's the King of Swords is right underneath the World card. So it could be that you watch this person as well, and you're tempted to say something or reach out to them, communicate with them. I feel there's a desire to want to communicate. But I feel like your intentions, though, even though you feel that way, especially if you are dealing with a male partner, even though you might feel guided to reach out to them, you actually want them to take the lead, I feel, with the King here. Okay. So what is it that you're taking from the connection this week? You have the Queen of Wands. So whether you believe it or not, whether you're male or female, and you could also be a fire sign, or Moon, or Venus, whether you believe it or not, or rising, I feel even. So if you feel like you're taking your power back, because I feel like she has this energy that she's working with in her hands. It's like this ball of energy that she's working with. You can barely see it, sorry. But she's working with this energy in her hands, and I feel like you start to feel more empowered at some point in the week, and if you don't already. And it's kind of like, and it could be why you feel so called to take on so much. It's like you're doing some work, energy work even. So that, I feel like that's you. What you're taking from the connection is you're taking something from the connection energetically that you feel like you can work with. It's like this ball that you can mold into something. You're working on something yourself. Could even be that you're working on yourself, mastering yourself at this point, healing yourself, seeing yourself in a different light, a totally different light. Okay, so next we have the Seven of Swords here. And the Seven of Swords represents the outside influences here. The outside influences, I feel like, it's two people that, this child, it's like this kid is running away from home because his parents are in the background, two people in the back, and they represent these two swords. So I feel like the outside influence is that maybe a lot of people, I call it the peanut gallery, because I've been hearing that this morning. I don't know why, the peanut gallery. So that makes sense now. I feel like you have a lot of people that are all up in your business, especially in your love life or just your life in general. They may know about the situation, And it could be those that you feel like understand you or did understand this situation, or maybe just people that don't. You feel like you gotta hide your you got to hide your business from these people. You got to keep it to yourself, because maybe in the past it kind of stabbed you in the back, because you got the 2 swords. So in the past it kind of either stabbed you in the back or caused you some sort of mental confusion or conflict, kind of feeling like you're delusional, you're not seeing things clearly or the way that they are. So that could very well be what it is, why you want to keep all of your business with the situation to yourself, because I feel like these other people could influence you to be a little conflicted mentally, or make you feel like you're not seeing the truth of a situation, like there's some sort of deception, and you get very caught up and very confused. Okay, so lastly for you, how will you be moving forward this week when it comes to connection? The 5 of Wands. I feel like you're going to fight against the connection in some way this week. Moving forward, it's like or you might even be fighting for the connection, fighting against any outside people, or inner struggles within yourself, fighting against those things. But it could also be that you're giving into the fight of the inner conflicts that's going on around you. It could just be other things outside of the connection that you'll put your attention and focus to, kind of catches you off guard and throws you for a loop and imbalance, to where you almost don't pay attention to this connection because you got other things to worry about. I feel some stress. But that is your energy. So moving on to their energy. So how they're viewing you this week. They have the 9 of Swords. So this person is viewing you it's kind of like the opposite. It's funny because you have the 9 of Pentacles, how you see them, and how they see you as a 9 of Swords. So I feel like they're seeing you as someone who has, like, I don't know if they feel like they are to be blamed for hurting you. They feel like they did something to you that's caused you to go MIA and not speak anymore, because the swords can represent communication as well, not just our thoughts. But they could be feeling guilty, staying awake at night, feeling like they're the reason why you're not speaking to them, why you may be MIA, where they have not seen you around or heard anything from you. So they could suspect that they've hurt you severely or traumatized you or something, or said something that was hurtful. On another note, I feel like they're worried about you moving on, working on yourself, doing better for yourself without them, which is why that they haven't heard from you in a while, or they don't see you around. It's like they feel like you're working on something outside of them. You're busy with life, moved on, matured, I feel, with the 9 of Swords. So what is it that they're providing to the connection? What are they providing? They have the 2 of Swords. So they're providing a lot of conflicts, okay? Which is why I feel like you got to pick up all the slack, and you got to be the one to make things happen. Work with some energy, because you might pick up that this person is confused and they don't know what they want or what to do. Or they're not sure about you. They're not clear about where they stand. Their thoughts are all over the place. It could be their mind and their heart are on 2 different accords. One part of them is saying something else. The other part of them feels something else. So it's like this confusion at the end of the day. So they're bringing in this energy of confusion, indecisiveness, not able to see things clearly, not able to think clearly, make decisions, So I feel like that's why you feel propelled or responsible to take on all of these wands. Okay. So presently, they have the Ace of Cups. So presently what's going on is, I really do believe that this person is working on something. With the Ace of Cups, they want to offer something. The Knight of Swords is right underneath this card. So I feel like they're definitely thinking about it and watching from the sidelines, or possibly just conjuring up a plan or some sort of offer, wanting to start something differently with you, with the Ace of Cups. And like I said, I'm not into the Disneyland stuff, the Disney princess stories and stuff. But if I'm getting it, I'm just going to read it as it is, So their hopes right now for the connection, what are they hoping for? They have the Four of Pentacles. This is like their nature, you know, of control. I feel in some cases like the ownership type of energy, like I own you, or being a little slightly codependent on you, because the Four of Pentacles is not a healthy energy. This person, it's like wants their cake and wants to have their cake and eat it too type of energy as well. Like they may have other things or other people in their lives that they're not willing to give up, where spirit might be telling them it's time to let these things go. And they're trying to juggle way too much, especially things that spirit's trying to take from them that's not of their highest good anymore, that's not stable, that's not beneficial, that's not healthy. So there's an element of codependency where they feel like they're entitled to you, or that they don't want you to go anywhere, but they could still sit here and have other people on the side, or, you know, still take on things that are not of their highest good, or keep them around when spirit's telling them otherwise. So they're hoping that you don't go anywhere, that they can just hold on to you, cling on to you, and keep everything else too. And that's not going to work with the Four of Pentacles. It's not. The four is a balanced number, does represent stability, but in this case, this man, he might seem like he's got it all together, but he's in a prison. If you don't notice, he's in prison. Okay. He's actually stagnating himself. He's not freeing himself from this energy. He's keeping this imbalance going. And I know when I'm calling out the man on the card, so I don't mean he as this person that you're dealing with has to be a he, but I'm just calling out the guy on the card. But whoever, the partner, that's where they're at. Okay, so their past energies, the Five of Swords. Okay, so, or this is your past energy, sorry. So the past energy in relations to you, they have the Five of Swords. So I feel like there might have been an argument, some miscommunication here. And I really feel like this person said something to you that was very painful, or said something about you that was painful, or you might have said something to them or about them that was painful. And I feel like it broke up some sort of communication. It shifted the communication between the both of you, where it just had to end, or you guys just went off on each other. But it's some sort of conflict with communication here that happened in the past, which is why I feel like they're here at the Nine of Swords. They got the Two of Swords as well. So what are they doubting? What are their doubts? They have the Six of Wands. Okay, so they doubt that they could be successful as well. Maybe that their efforts, something that they feel called to do, to take action on, is not going to pan out in the way that they desire. Because they have the Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck, or the bottom of this card, sorry. So it could be that they're inspired to take some sort of action and to step out of their comfort zone, make some sort of moves. And I feel like they are fearful that they're not going to get the recognition from you. Because you notice in this card, there's not the usual people that's congratulating him. It's just him in the card. So I feel like they're not trying to appease everybody else. They're trying to appease you. They want to be seen by you. They want to be recognized, and they want the end result to be a successful one. So they fear that it's not going to pan out that way, or they doubt that it's not going to happen that way. So what is the issue that's blocking them? Have Seven of Pentacles. Okay. So the issues that's blocking this person is that maybe I'm getting two things, that maybe they're taking too much time out to contemplate things and kind of procrastinating instead of just going forth and taking some sort of chance or opportunity here. Like they might have been playing around for far too long, or they're not taking the time out to really nurture the connection and have patience with themselves within it, or patience with you. They could even be guided to work on something in regards to themselves in relation to the connection, and they're not doing that. And it has something to do with communication, because this woman's draped in blue. There's a lot of blue in your spread and in their spread. So I just get communication, and everybody loves communication. Everybody waits for that. So I definitely feel like this person has you waiting for communication, and it's because they feel like they're doing something by being patient or putting it off completely. knowing that they should. I feel like they have the knowing that they need to say something or do something. Okay, so what are their current feelings and expectations of you? I have a 7 of Wands. Okay, so their current feelings and expectations towards you is, I feel like they want you to fight for the connection with them, because they feel like they are, because they feel like they have a lot of odds against them, and they want to know that you're dedicated and you're devoted and you're doing the same. And it's like, I'm sure you're thinking, like, how could they not know or think that I've been putting in a lot of effort? Like, how silly of them, right? But they feel like you're not putting in some sort of effort, or maybe they want you to pick up, you know, the effort and take on the challenge of fighting against the odds between the both of you. Like, they expect you to fight with them, I feel, energetically. You know, the energies that you guys are struggling with, I feel like they want you to fight against that. They might feel like there's people that are in the way and they have to fight against all of that. And it's like they feel like if they're not, you know, doing this that in the way that I am or expect them to, then they're not working at all. So that's what I'm getting. That's their feelings towards you and their expectation. So as far as their intentions, they have the Knight of Swords. So they do want to come out and speak some truth to you. They really want to express their feelings, even because they have the Ace of Cups above it. So I feel like they want to express how they feel, and, you know, maybe how they've changed or how they've healed, or the conclusion or the, you know, the epiphany that they've got, how they feel about you or the situation. They may want to express that all to you, or express some sort of offer, or extend an offer, you know, reach out. I feel like this person, because he's determined, he's a little worried, he's a little scared, his face, he looks a little scared. So this person may be scared shitless to say something, but they intend to, they want to. Okay, so what are they taking from the connection this week? What are they taking? They have the Chariot. So this is a good card to get. I feel like they're taking this energy of wanting to take charge of the connection and finally wanting to follow through with their higher self, where it's guiding them, where it's leading them, where Spirit's taking them, where God, the universe, is taking them. I feel like they want to take, they want to step back into the picture and start moving towards the connection. Because I feel like even though they might have these fears that they, or doubts that they will be unsuccessful, there's still something that's pushing them and urging them to step out. And like I said, this person has changed a lot, I feel. They've totally changed as far as them sitting back. Because as it might seem like this person is being the aggressor in the past, or the person that was in charge in a sense, and you were the one that kind of was just chasing them like a puppy or behind them, this person was really passive in their aggression. So I feel like now they're shifting it and they're taking part in the situation. They're not just passive and just sitting back and trying to run that game on you with the Four of Pentacles, because it's right above the Chariot. So I feel like they're going to take from the connection this inspiration to move forward and to get into alignment with where things are and what their guidance is telling them. Okay, so what is the outside influence? Have a Temperance. So the outside influence is divine, I feel, is coming from angelic assistance, or maybe guides, their higher self, and its healings is at the background of all of this. That is the influence I feel is in the background, helping this person to heal, help restore the connection and bring balance to it where it needs to be balanced. For some of you, so that things can come together between you, or simply just so that both of you individually can heal and find balance, especially if you guys have hurt each other in the past. I feel like Spirit's trying to mend those hurts individually between the both of you and bring peace to the situation, but also if there's forgiveness that needs to happen between you, I feel like that's what's happening. Okay, so how will they move forward this week? They have the Page of Wands. So they may very well take some sort of chance here. Baby steps, though. It's not going to be a dramatic leap like the Fool card, or even the Knight that just charges forward. They don't really think about it. They just step out spontaneously. I feel like with baby steps, they're slowly stepping out of their comfort zone and taking making some sort of offers with you. All right. So the shared energy we have is the distorted masculine. So they could be looking at, if you are the masculine or they're the masculine, I feel like both of you, regardless, are looking at masculine energy. Whether you are the person that is dealing with the masculine energy, you're looking at them in a very distorted perception. Some of you might even feel sorry for this person. You feel like they're highly materialistic in an unhealthy way. You might feel like this person is just not being authentic to themselves. They're trying to keep up with the traditions of what a man is supposed to be or what masculine energy is. If this person is a masculine energy, then they're looking at themselves in a very distorted way. They're looking at all of this. It's very chaotic. It's very unhealthy. They feel like they have to have certain things in a certain amount of time, or by a certain age, they got to accomplish this, they got to have that. Society says that we have to work, or we have to be this type of man, or we have to have money, we have to have this, we have to dress like this, we have to talk like this, treat women or treat our lovers this way. So there's this distorted perception here that is not healthy, I feel. But you guys share that in common, so it tells them that something is being brought to both of your awarenesses, that there's something that needs to be changed. And I feel like it is, especially with the Four of Pentacles. It keeps standing out to me, that this person has codependency issues as well, or they have control issues, and they could be very materialistic as well. They might have been a stingy person, whether they've been stingy emotionally or stingy with money or something. Okay, so what is the advice? What is the advice this week? What is Spirit advice? What is Spirit advice this week? Okay, so this could be the one, and I saw this before I shuffled, and you have the separation card at the bottom. So, of course, that's pretty much the energy all the time, the separation. But this could be the one. It says you've already met the romantic partner you seek. So Spirit wants you to keep that in mind, that it's possible that this person that you're asking about is the one, and you've already met them. You already know who they are, if you have any doubts or any questions. Also, it could be telling you, the advice is to keep that in mind about this person, that they could be thinking that as well, or conflicted with this. So keep that in mind. The separation energy, you both are feeling the separation heavily, because these people, they're not far from each other. So this could be that you might feel separate from this person, even though they're around you, or you still talk to them, you still hear from them. There's still this feeling of separation. Or if this person is nowhere to be found, you guys have not talked, you guys have not seen each other, then you guys feel like your energy is very close. You guys feel each other very closely, and I feel like there's pain in the separation for both of you. It's definitely a lot of pain. There's some sort of desire to want to come closer out of curiosity, or just simply out of missing the other person. All right, so that's your reading, you guys, for this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. Gives you some insight and some clarity. Next time I'll do a better job of the spread, laying it out where you can see the cards fully. Maybe even the lighting, switch it up. So hope you've enjoyed it. If you're interested in your own Twin Flame Soulmate readings, I will leave the description in the description box the details on how to do that. And any other readings you might be interested in, I'll leave my website's link below as well. Send you guys much love until the next week's reading. Peace.